Hey guys, today we're doing a creative exercise in Final Cut Pro. This is something I like to do periodically on my own just to get my creative juices flowing and learn some new things in Final Cut. I'll just take different elements and start compositing them and applying different effects to them and just kind of see where I land. It's a process I documented a while ago on my channel and you guys really seem to love it. So today we're back at it. This is the journey we're gonna go on together. You're seeing it before me because I haven't even created it yet, but as you can see, it has a space theme. I was drinking one of those space dusts this weekend and it just got me thinking about space. And then I found this really cool rendering on ArtGrid of this astronaut on a transparent background. So this is going to be the whole basis for our project. But other than that, there are no rules. I'm just here to have fun, flex my creative muscles. And the only parameters I'm setting for myself in this project is that I want to use as many tricks as I can that I've shown you previously here on this YouTube channel. All right, let's just dive right in. All right, so I've imported my astronaut here. Let's just drop him in a new project. And I'm just going to use the automatic settings for this. So obviously we need to create an environment for him. So I'm thinking I want it to be a very desolate planet. So I think the texture of our planet is going to have like a desert feel. So I'm going to head on over to Pixabay and find an image of a desert to use as our planet surface. I really like this image. I like the texture of the sand and all of these undulations. This feels very space to me, so I am going to download it. And right from our Finder, I'm going to drag it into my timeline and make it the same duration of our astronaut. Now I'm going to want to replace the sky in this. So at this point, let me disable our astronaut and I'm just going to apply the magnetic mask, which I'm very proud to say I finally memorized the shortcut for. It took me a really long time. And I'm going to select the sand and just analyze. Now, typically image editing is something you would do in a designated app like Pixelmator Pro, but pulling out the sky like this is just so easy to do with the magnetic mask. Why jump out of Final Cut? Okay, so let me enable my astronaut again, and let's just play with the scale and position of all of these elements. I want to reduce the scale on my astronaut. Okay, here I landed at 66%. And then let's increase the size of our desert image, and I landed at 192 there. So in looking at this clip of our astronaut, you can see that he's just walking in place. So we have a couple options here. I can either make my astronaut walk across the screen, or I can move the environment so it looks like the camera is following our astronaut. So I think I'm going to do that, which means I want to keyframe a move here on this desert image. So let me cue up my playhead to the very beginning of this clip, and I'm going to add a keyframe on the position line. And I want to reduce the X position of my desert. Let's say -640 just for even numbers. And I also am going to want the spacewalker to be walking not just to screen left, but also kind of at a diagonal angle. So let me play with the Y position on this as well. So I've got it on a value of a +340. Now let's jump to the end of our timeline and keyframe those values again. So I'm going to make the X a positive value. And I'm going to keep going till I'm pretty close to the edge of my image. And I'm also going to reduce that Y value. All right, I like round numbers. I'm just going to type in 300 there. So let's play it back. And what I can see is not working for me here is that when you add keyframes in Final Cut Pro, it automatically adds easing to the beginning and end of your move. And I don't want that. I want something constant. So I am going to select that clip, enable the transform tools in my viewer, and then right click here on both of these points to make them linear instead of smooth. So we have a constant movement. And it's not perfect. Obviously, it looks like he's sliding back slightly with every footstep, but we're not going for perfection here. I'm just trying to flex my creativity. Plus, Final Cut Pro really isn't the place to be doing this type of compositing if you're really trying to make something look realistic. And who knows what the gravitational pull is on this planet anyway. Maybe that's how people walk there. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to call this close enough. But what I do want to do is play with the color of this planet. So I'm going to add the color adjustments. I'm going to crank up the saturation, but cool off the tones on our planet. And maybe I'll pull down the black point for a little more contrast as well. Okay, I'm going to leave that there for now, but I do want to add a little bit more depth to this scene. And I'm thinking that we could add some other sort of land formation back here. So why don't we head back to Pixabay and look for another desert scene that would serve well as like mountains in the background. I kind of like the shape of this one here. So let's download this as well. And once again, right from my Finder, I'm just going to drop it underneath both of our clips in our timeline. And then I'm going to disable the spacewalker and our original desert and cut out the sky again using that magnetic mask. So let's enable our other elements, and I'm going to resize and reposition these mountains. And I'm going to keyframe a move on these as well, but it's going to be a really small move because the farther something away is, the more subtle the moves on a camera shot like this. So I've ended up with a starting position of -575 on the X and -150 on the Y, and I ended with a value of -300 on the X and -100 on the Y. And again, Final Cut is adding an ease to those keyframes, so let's select that shot, enable our transform tools in the viewer, and right-click on both points to make them linear. And then I'm going to select my first desert shot, grab those color adjustments, and just drag it to the background. But I'm also going to reduce the exposure and desaturate it a bit, drop down the shadows and the black point to really make it feel like it's fading into the background. And then I'm also going to add a blur to soften it up a little bit, like it's way off in the distance. But not that soft, that's crazy. Let's go like here. Does that feel good? Okay, so far so good. Now let's add a sky into the background as well. So one more time, let me head back to Pixabay, and I'm gonna search for Galaxy, and I want something really kind of trippy looking. I think this looks good, and I'm going to drop that under everything. I'm gonna scale it up and reposition it, and I also wanna play with the colors of it a little bit. I think I just want it to be darker and less saturated. But now that I'm looking at this, I do think that my first desert scene is still too bright, so let me open up those color adjustments again. And I'm gonna bring down the exposure. And I think I'm gonna add a very, very, very slight move on the sky as well. Remember, the sky's like super far away, so the motion on it wouldn't be too dramatic. And one more time, let's make that move linear. Okay, here's something else I'm noticing weird about our astronaut, is that I feel like he has multiple light sources on him, right? Because we're getting a highlight on the back of his helmet, but then when he moves his arm and leg forward, they're catching a light source that feels like it's coming like this way. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like there's a light here and a light here. So let's try to add some drop shadows on here that make all of this make sense. So down in the stylized category, I'm gonna reach for the drop shadow and I'm going to drop it onto our astronaut. And I'm first going to address the drop shadow that looks like it's coming from whatever's highlighting his helmet, like so. Okay, and then I want to duplicate this drop shadow. So all I have to do is select that effect in the inspector and then drag it onto the same clip and it makes a duplicate. And now I can add a drop shadow this way. This back one, I'm going to blur it a little bit more. Now I want to implement a trick that I showed you just a few videos ago, which is how to import 3D images into Final Cut Pro. So first let's source our image. I'm going to go to Sketchfab and I'm going to search for a free downloadable spaceship. Okay, I think I'm going to settle on this spaceship here. There's a lot of options, but this feels like whoever would be piloting this ship would have that orange uniform. So let me download this. And I'm looking for the USDZ file. And I'm not gonna walk you through all the steps to bring a 3D model into Final Cut Pro. I'll just link to that video down below. So I'm gonna drop this spaceship beneath our astronaut, but on top of our desert. And where do I want this spaceship to live? Let's see, maybe over here. And I'm gonna scale it down so it feels like it's far off in the background. And I'm gonna play with the rotation. I want it to feel like it's kind of like wonky, maybe like he crash landed. How about like that? Maybe it needs to be a little smaller, like so. All right, now I'm gonna motion track this spaceship into place. So let me disable it. and I'm going to look at the scene we've got going on already, and I want to motion track to something that's in the frame the entire time and that's also very contrasty. So obviously this peak right here is catching my eye. I'm going to disable the astronaut. Let's select that desert image, add a tracker here in the inspector, and zero in on this peak, and let's analyze it. And then I'm going to enable the spaceship, enable the transform tools, and assign it to the object track. And then I'm going to have to play with my position and scale again. Okay, so this looks good, but obviously my spaceship looks a little bit stuck on. So we are going to push it off into the distance by adding a blur to it. I also want to add the color adjustments. I just think it looks too bright in comparison to everything else. And let's bring it into the scene by adding a shadow underneath it. Okay, this is weird. I think because it is a 3D object that we motion tracked, we're getting drift on that drop shadow. So let me think this through. I could keyframe the position of the drop shadow to try to match the move. So that's one option. But let me try something else. I'm going to disable that drop shadow, duplicate the spaceship. On the bottom version of the spaceship, I'm going to add a colorize effect and remap the blacks and the whites to black. And then I'm going to reposition that duplicate underneath my spaceship. I'm really going to blur it out and let me squish the scale of it. And that solved our problem. That was a good workaround, if I do say so myself. Okay, just a few more elements I want to add to this scene. If you recall, I said that I was inspired to create this scene when I was drinking a space dust. So I want to add some space dust to this shot. And in a prior YouTube tutorial, I made particles that you can apply over your projects. And again, I will link to this tutorial down in the description. So this is the generator you saw me make in that other tutorial. Let's make some changes to these particles. On the position, I'm just going to make everything 0. The birth rate, let's make 50, but the initial number, let's make 500. I want these particles to kind of be lazy. I don't want them to move too quickly. So let's reduce the speed to, let's say, 250, but I don't want them to be all going at the same speed. So let's increase the randomness to like 200. So we're getting some variety. I'm gonna leave these shapes as circles, so the angle does not make any difference, nor does the spin. But on the scale, I want these to be tiny. I want them to feel like dust. So let's reduce the scale all the way down to like 2%. Yeah, okay, there we go. But I do want there to be a little variety on the scale. So on scale randomness, let's go like 15. These feel pretty good, like they're just sort of floating around. That is what I want. But I do want to soften them up. I'm gonna increase the blur to 10. And I don't want these particles to be white. I want them to feel like it's the dust from, let's say, this sand that's kind of floating in the air. So let's apply the colorize to this as well. And I'm just going to color pick like so from our scene. And I even think we could change the blend mode on these to make them feel even lighter. So let's go from normal to, I don't know, soft light. Do we even see them? Oh yeah, they got darker. I don't like that. Hold on, let's see, what else can we do? What about screen? There we go. This is pretty cool. I have another idea to bring this to another level. I want to make the environment reflect in his helmet here. So let me scroll down and I'm going to take our first desert. So that's like the foreground here. And I'm going to take the sky. I'm going to select them both by holding down the command key and selecting them both. And then I'm going to hold down the option key and duplicate them. Okay, that worked. So now you can see I have two versions of my desert and two versions of my sky. I'm going to select the new versions we just made, and I'm going to make them a compound clip by hitting Option G. Now let's open up that compound clip, and now we've got these two elements here. I want to remove the move on both of these, so let's reset the parameters on the transform on both of them. And I also want to remove the color adjustments on both of these elements and bring them back to their original look. Okay. So we've got our compound clip. Now I'm going to bring it up in my stack by holding down Option and arrowing up until it's on top of our spacewalker. And I want to reduce the size of this. And then I'm going to reach for the draw mask under masking and keying. And I'm going to rough out like about the size and shape of his helmet. I'll probably have to go back and fix this later. And actually that was a mistake. Let me undo all those. I actually want to make this rounded, so I'm going to click and drag when I make my points. That'll give me more of a smooth outline and make all the points smooth. Okay, there we go. Now we got more of a round shape. And then using my transform tools, I'm just gonna reposition it over his helmet and I'm gonna shrink it way down. Just get like a general feel, like so. Let me select the draw mask again to bring up my edit points and just make some adjustments here. And I should probably zoom in. Now what I want to do is play with the blend mode on this. So on the blend mode, what if we went to color dodge? Yeah, perfect. This is why I wanted to keep the colors of my images nice and bright so they were really visible in his helmet. And then I'm going to feather the draw mask a little bit. All right, now how do we get it to track with the helmet? Of course, we're going to reach for the motion track. I'm going to select our spacewalker. Let's add a motion track to his whole helmet. Final Cut should do a really good job of grabbing this, I would imagine. And I have a whole tutorial on motion tracking in Final Cut if you want to check that out. I'll link to that down below as well. And then we're going to attach this compound clip to that tracker by enabling our transform tools, dropping down and selecting object track. Let's pin it to the tracker, and it made it really small. Let's scale it back up, and I'm gonna play with the positioning. And I definitely think that adds a little something. All right, I have one last trick I wanna do with this, which is that I want to add an effect I showed you how to make in my latest course, Motion Ignite. It's a more advanced Apple Motion course where I show you how to build a title template, a generator, an effect, and a transition so you can create your own templates for Final Cut Pro to use on your own, to share with your friends, or even to sell as a side hustle. If you don't know, I have tons of courses at jennjager.com, my website, for Final Cut users and for people who want to learn Apple Motion. So I'm going to now add an adjustment clip by queuing up my playhead to the beginning of my timeline and selecting option A, and I'm going to apply this effect to that entire adjustment clip. So it's going to affect everything beneath it here in my timeline. If you want to know more about adjustment clips, of course, I will link to a tutorial about that down below. All right, so let me drop on this effect. And what this effect does is it gives us a flickering flare, and it also gives us a simulated camera move on our clip, and you can do all of this with on-screen controls here. So what I'm going to do is grab this outer ring to zoom in and reposition my astronaut. So it's going to start full screen, and then it's going to zoom in to our scene. And then this flare, I'm going to reposition. Actually, let me start when we're full screen here. And I can resize it, and then I can change the color of it. So I'm going to pretend this is some sort of like space lightning storm, maybe that caused our astronaut to crash. This could happen, right? I don't know. Why not? And there is our scene. I'm gonna leave this here. I think this came out really fun. If you like this type of content, let me know down in the comments because I'll keep making it for you. If you wanna know more about any of the techniques you saw me utilize here in this video, check the description because I'll link a bunch of videos for you as well. And if you wanna know more about Final Cut or Apple Motion, check out my courses at jennjager.com. In the meantime, here's some other videos I think you might really like. I will see you again.